Hawks fans, coming back at you with another trade rumor because they continue to escalate. And this may be a perfect scenario for our Atlanta Hawks. Hey, I'm not here to sell a dream, I'm just narrating. Trade rumors in the dark got the league speculating. They say silence is golden, but we gonna give them hell. Keep it on the hush, nah, we got stories to tell. So welcome back to Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tip Moore. Happy to see all you guys once again. All about the logo. Time to get it in. Take off your shoes, leave on your socks. We have a trade rumor to get into, guys. Can't wait to get into it with you. Welcome back. As always, let's get into this. Thank you guys for being our day ones, man, for coming over, being a part of Hawks Digest. When you need all the Hawks news surrounding the Atlanta Hawks, you can get it right here. And we are reaching a new plateaus, we're reaching new audiences. So, guys, if this is your first time at Hawks Digest, by all means, hit that subscribe button and make Hawks Digest one of your first listens when you need that Hawks content. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this trade rumor, shall we? All right, so 3-team trade, of course, as always, with the CBA being the way that it is. Money has to move around, so that's why you see more 3-team trades. We're going to start here at the bottom and work our way to the top. The San Antonio Spurs, Dallas Mavericks, Atlanta Hawks do business, and the San Antonio Spurs will be taking on Klay Thompson, 35-year-old sharpshooter. Well, maybe not as sharp as he used to be. We already know, the Game 6 Klay doing all those things that he used to do. But the thing about it is, for the San Antonio Spurs, that'll be interesting because he does still have some shooting ability for sure. And he can knock it down. Plenty of times he helped the Dallas Mavericks, So that would be a nice piece for them. Moving on, the Dallas Mavericks, they would take on Terrence Mann, 2025 second round pick from San Antonio, 2026 second round pick via Utah from San Antonio, 2026 second round pick via New Orleans Pelicans and or / Portland from San Antonio. That sounds like the least favorable. Also a 2027 second round pick from Atlanta, via Cleveland, and also the 2031 pick, same difference, via from Atlanta via Cleveland. Oh man, and then the Atlanta Hawks would get themselves a big man. They would get Daniel Gafford, someone who has been moved around a few times, but hey, he's been serviceable everywhere he's gone. And the Atlanta Hawks get a big man. And one thing that stands out into this trade for me is we still keep our first round picks. The first one, 13 and 22, we still keep both of those. Those are not in a trade. Only player you lose is Terrence Mann, who's on a somewhat, expensive contract when you look at it for him. By $15 million a year. I mean, you can get off of that contract. Now you do get off of the second round picks. Give or take. The second round picks possibly could have been used in something else maybe, but to make this deal and facilitate it, it's not terrible. Like, we've seen worse deals than this, right, Hawks fans? So this is not terrible. Now let's get into pros and cons about this for our Atlanta Hawks. Now, taking on somebody like Daniel Gafford, that's kind of a risk to a degree. Depends on how you look at it. Daniel Gafford is an expiring contract. Let's talk about the cons first. Daniel Gafford is an expiring contract, so essentially he would be a 1-year rental. It's not like you're trading man for a guy who's maybe on a 2-year deal to see exactly what's going on with him in that regard. But Daniel Gafford is still a serviceable center who I would not mind having. You think about it, Daniel Gafford last season put up 12 points, 7 rebounds in only 21 minutes. Shot 70% from the floor as well. You already know he's a high motor guy. And he will help with rebounding, second chance points and everything like that. Yes, but again, he is a rental. I want to say he is a rental. And I want to also say that if you bring this young man in, you can really forget any kind of way of bringing this young man back. That is Larry Nance Jr. Now, Larry Nance Jr., I know he got injured toward the end of the season, and we did not have him. But you got to remember, Larry Nance, there was a point in times where he was very, very, very I would say within the offense, helping, facilitate, knocking down shots, just being that veteran on the floor that the Hawks needed. So if you're cool with possibly not bringing back Larry Nance, then yeah, you can bring in Daniel Gafford, but again, it's only going to be like for a rental. Now, let's get into the pros of Daniel Gafford to the Hawks. Again, the 12-7 in 21 minutes, just that alone right there makes you feel good behind Onyeka Okongwu. Now, Onyeka Okongwu and Daniel Gafford are two totally different centers, but Daniel Gafford is still a lob threat, it's a rim runner, one of those guys who will bring that kind of trait that you've seen with Clint Capela when we had Clint Capela here. And I mean, and also, real quick tad bit, this doesn't mean that Clint Capela still won't be an Atlanta Hawk somehow, some way. I know it's a long shot, but at the end of the day, we're familiar with one another, so there is still a possibility, I believe, for Clint to maybe become an Atlanta Hawk yet again. Backup role, of course, because there's no point of putting him in as the starting center after he's already been benched for Onyeka Okongwu, in my opinion. Back to Gafford. Gafford also, man, is a guy who has, like I said, the skill set is different from Onyeka Okongwu, but Onyeka Okongwu can be fresh if Daniel Gafford is on this team. And here's also the beauty thing about it. Remember those first round picks? If Atlanta wants to still go double center, then they possibly still could do that, because again, Gafford would be technically a rental. So you would bring him in to help that front court, yes. Probably Mo G get a little bit more time. Again, it would give you depth in the front court, and you still would be under the salary cap as well. For people who are worried about that, you still would be under the salary cap, and again, you would help the front court. And if you don't want to go double center in the draft, the Atlanta Hawks still will have the opportunity to go center and possibly go wing guard for those Hawks fans who don't think we should draft a center. There will still be this right here trade will open up the window and the door for the Hawks to possibly take a wing player like a Rasheer Fleming or a Walter Clayton Jr. for those who, still keeping it alive for the guards. Jace, Jace Richardson. Those type of players right there, this will leave the door open for that, because you don't want to have too many bigs. And also, if you do take a center who needs maybe a little bit of developing, Daniel Gafford can fill in for the role. Maybe Mo G a little bit as well. Who knows? Maybe you still try to see if you can sneak in Larry Nance, or just go with it with Onyeka, Daniel Gafford, possibly Mo G. I know Barlow is still around too. So you would have depth in the front court, more so. And that guy that you drafted, you don't have to rush him in right away, whether if he's a Hassan Yang, hopefully, or, or if he's even Raynard, any of those guys, who can come in and make an impact. Joan Behringer, if you draft some guy like that, you can place him down in College Park and let him develop while you do have at least a season of Gafford. So there are more positives, I feel, than negatives on this. But again, you got to think about it. Does it really move the needle for the Atlanta Hawks? You guys let me know how you guys feel. Of course, you talk, I talk back. And guys, I really want to know your opinion. How do you feel about this 3-team trade? I'll show you once more. I think I can show you once more. Let's see if I can put it on the big screen here for you. How you guys feel about it? Daniel Gafford to the Atlanta Hawks. This is what we give up. Terrence Mann, somebody who's on that 3-year deal. We get off of that contract, and so we get off a few second-round picks. I mean, it could have been used in something else, but hey, you bring in Daniel Gafford. Spurs, they get Klay Thompson. Not sure if they really will want to do that, but hey, in this scenario, in this hypothetical scenario, I'm thinking about this. Like I really am thinking about this. All I'm thinking about is the fact that Daniel Gafford would be a rental, but again, this gives you flexibility in the front court. I believe so. Hawks fans, let me know what you think. And of course, as always, peace and blessings to you all. And to you all, I'll holler.